What's up, y'all? Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching. This is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. First of all, thank you so much for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. As always, if you could, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification button to stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesdays content. Today, I want to talk to you from the standpoint of kind of a short that I did, and I'm going to extend this into a longer video because I have so much more that I would like to say on top of what was already said from the shorts. But as a generation, I just want to know, not just as a generation, screw that noise, as a society. By the way, this is Long Car Rock Chronicles episode 37. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. But are we cooked? Are we cooked when it comes to dating? I know I was not supposed to be bringing a lot more dating stuff up. I promised you guys I would take a break from that, but I'm sorry. I am so sorry. When things like this pop up and they come to my mind and everybody's talking about it, sometimes I just ignore it, and sometimes I have to chime on in. And you know what I'm doing today? I'm chiming on in. So are we cooked? And let me explain the reason why. My parents and my grandparents, our parents and our great-grandparents, why I say great-grandparents? Parents and grandparents, and maybe great-grandparents too, screw it, we're just going to include all three. They would always talk about how back in their day, dating was very straightforward, right? It wasn't really a lot of nonsense with it. There wasn't trickery. There wasn't really strategies involved like that, to be honest. I don't know why this guy's on my bumper. Get off my bumper, please. Thank you, fam. Yeah, go around, do your thing. It's one of those things where it just wasn't a whole bunch of strategies involved. Like there was, but it wasn't. The strategy involved was simply this. If you were a man, get the woman. If you were a woman, lock down the man. If you're interested in this. Obviously, if you're not interested, you don't do that. But nowadays, it seems like there's so much of a power play when it comes to dating. And I admit, I've participated in the power play myself. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm not going to put on the front and act like I haven't tried my hand at, cracking the code to this dating mission that I hope ultimately leads to marriage for me. I know everybody's not necessarily looking for marriage per se, but for me, I would like to be married one day. And in order for me to get married, what do I have to do? I have to essentially date someone for a decent period of time. And it has to work out, right? So why am I bringing this up? Just in case you haven't really been around or paying attention, or maybe you've been married for quite some time and you haven't had to deal with the tomfoolery of the dating scene. It's to a point now where strategy is how you ultimately get a man or get a woman. I'm going to talk about men's perspective first, and I'll talk a little bit about the ladies, but I'm going to start with the guys because I'm a man myself. So I can relate to how this works, right? So it seems like for us guys, it's like if we're too much of anything, it doesn't work out. Which, granted, I have told people all the time that when it comes to dating, both men and women have to have a delicate balance, right? So for us men, you can't be too nice, but you also can't be too much of a butthole. Or actually, here's the screwed up part. You technically can, right? And I'm going to explain why. And I know some people are going to disagree with me. Some people are going to come for my neck. Off with your head, Marcus, when they say this. That's fine. I understand. Some people don't know that there are qualities of the bad boy that the ladies like. And it's not necessarily that women like bad boys themselves. It's more so they like some of the qualities that the bad boy has, right? Now, there are some women out there that simply just like bad boys. That's true. But there's some other women that don't really necessarily like bad boys, but they like the fact that the bad boy takes initiative. They like the fact that the bad boy exercises dominance. They like the fact that the bad boy doesn't care what you think. He's going to do his thing regardless if you like it or not. And I think those are qualities that every man should have. I don't care if you're a bad boy, good guy, nice guy, okay guy, medium guy, whatever. Right? But I think the jacked up part that comes into play for men is it's almost like we, yes, I'm saying we, I'm including myself into this too. If we do too much, darn if we will, darn if we don't, if we do too little. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's very weird. And trying to find that balance is hard. You know, a lot of ladies will say they want an emotionally available man, but when we present a bit of our emotional side, we get shut down for it, right? A lot of men out here will say, don't show your emotions at all. But then we're looked at as not emotionally intelligent. A lot of us men know how to show our emotions, but we won't do it in fear that it will backfire on us. Because let's be real, and ladies, you're going to get mad at me when I say this, but I'm just telling the God the honest truth. A lot of y'all here don't know how to take accountability. I ain't saying all ladies. I know plenty of women that do, but I know plenty of women that don't. Just keeping it 100%. By the way, this is not about to be a bashing session on men and women. This is just me simply telling the truth and us figuring out a way together how we can do better. So ladies, if you ever wondered why a lot of guys won't express themselves, that's why. That's the exact reason why. It's almost like if we show too much, it's a problem. Now, showing too much too early, fellas, I can understand it. You got to guard your heart. You got to know what to do and what to say at all times. And you got to understand there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes it's a little too early to jump the gun. But the problem that comes into play is even when you show too much down the road with somebody that's your lady, somebody that you've established with, even that could be a problem. Now, I know some ladies will say, well, you just messing with the wrong women. And I think that's partially true. Because I'm still a firm believer that, you know, you get with the right woman, she's not going to put you through the rigmaroles and all that good stuff. But that's few far in between. You know what I'm saying? And it gets complicated. It's almost like, even if you're a guy who's considerate, it's a turn off for a lot of women. Not all women, a lot of women. And I think the best thing that you can do as a man, you just got to keep casting your net until you hit the jackpot. You know what I mean? That's the only solution. Continue to improve yourself as a man and just keep casting the net. Now, granted, there are times where you do need to take a break from dating to just solely focus on yourself. I know I'm doing that right now. I have a crush. I ain't gonna sit here in front. I definitely have a crush, but I will not pursue her. One, because of environmental reasons, but also number two, because I'm just focused on myself right now. You know what I mean? Now let's move on to the ladies' side. Ladies, why does it seem like dating is cooked for you? Well, your reasons are very similar to the guys, but also there's some different reasons for you as well. Number one, same thing. Like I said before, dating used to be very straightforward, and now it's from a standpoint where it's just kind of crooked. And a lot of that is because, I'm going to be real with you, a lot of guys have been corrupted in a sense. Not all guys, obviously. But there are some guys who used to be what you quote unquote were looking for. Gentlemen. Very much respectful. Very much open. And unfortunately, some of them messed around with the wrong ladies. And they got cold. Very cold. Ice cold. Brick cold. And now you're like, well, why are the guys like this? And this and that and so on and so forth. He just seems so distant. And it probably wasn't your fault. Probably wasn't your fault at all. I'm just going to assume that you came in maybe as a respectful, nice woman, very feminine, very loving, very caring. Unfortunately, the woman that he met before you destroyed him. Sad. Now, I know before some ladies type in the comments or, act like they're about to type in the comments and say, well, Marcus, this is where healing comes into play. This is where therapy comes into play. All those things are true. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just letting you know what it is. So now you're like, well, dang. But then, ladies, I also want you to ask yourself, if there was really an emotionally intelligent man that came your way. I said came your play, my bad. Would you be ready for it? Would you be ready for it? Do you understand the responsibility that comes along with it? Because there are a lot of guys who move differently now because there were some women who claimed they were ready for something like this, and they really weren't. They were not at all. At all. No, ma'am. You know what I mean? That's stuff that you really got to think about. Those are things that you really, honestly, have to consider. You have to. Sorry, but you have to. Because people will say one thing like, oh, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for that, so on and so forth. But they're not really ready. And again, I'm not saying that all women are like this. No, we're not about to sit here and be like, oh, well, no. That's not what we do on the channel. But I'm just letting you know the state of affairs. So that's one of the reasons why dating can seem cooked for you if you're wondering from your perspective. But I'm going to give you another reason. Another reason why dating might seem cooked is because there's some of y'all, not all of y'all obviously, but some of y'all have a bit of unrealistic expectations. I don't think there's anything wrong with you wanting what you want, who you want, how you want. Everyone has a preference. Nothing wrong with preferences. And I'm not by any means telling you to settle for the guy just because he's a provider. Unfortunately, there are some out here that have settled for the guys just because he was a provider, but she wasn't attracted to him. Now, 10 years down the road, they wondering why they want a divorce. They're wondering why they are not physically attracted to him. They're wondering why they're not giving him the best that she can give. It's because you weren't genuinely attracted to him. So it has to start there. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying by any means settle. But what I am saying is just because he doesn't check off all your boxes, that doesn't mean he's not compatible with you. I'm a firm believer that if anybody checks off about 60 to 70% of your boxes at minimum, you should be good to go. But I'm going to be honest, one of those mandatory boxes has to be looks. You have to be attracted to this person. Not attracted about the things they do. Oh, he has a nice personality. Oh, he buys me stuff. Oh, he treats me so well. I'm not saying all those things are bad things. What I am saying to you is it has to start with genuine attraction, genuine desire. If it does not, I don't care how many of those things that he does, that's great, that men should do for ladies they like, it's not going to mean a hill of beans. And that's where some of you guys fall short. That's where some of you guys are cooked. Because you quote unquote settle. And you're like, well, Marcus, I've tried to, get so many guys, and the guy I wanted, he wouldn't really want me and this and that. Okay, there's plenty of women that I wanted that didn't want me, and what did I do? I moved on. Ladies, you got to do the same. I know it's not easy. And I know some people right now are probably looking at me sideways. Marcus, why are you trying to talk to women? Women are emotional. Blah, blah, this, blah, blah. Shut up. I don't normally tell people shut up, but shut up if you think of that, okay? There are people out here that will listen. And for the people that it goes in one ear and out the other, may God bless you, have a smile upon you. For the ones that are willing to listen, peep game from Big Brother Marcus, all right? It's funny I'm calling myself that. Big Bro Marcus. It's okay for you to want somebody. But if they don't want you back, ladies, move on. And don't settle for the guy that you wanted second or third. Find another guy that you were putting first. There are billions of men on this planet. Just like I told the fellas, there are billions of women on this planet. You mean to tell me there ain't going to be another guy that you're going to come across that could have an impact on you? The same guy that you met at Walmart, who you had a date with, things didn't work out, and you were just goo-goo gaga over him. I guarantee you there's another guy out here that you'll be goo-goo gaga over. I promise. If you just step out. You just put yourself out there. Just make yourself available. Don't be out here saying, oh, I'm going to just give this guy. No! If you say, oh, I'm going to just give this guy a chance, you don't really want him. Go after the guy that you want. And if it don't work, there'll be other guys that you really want. Stop settling. That's how you cook, ladies. Stop settling for the guys you really don't want. I know somebody in the comments about to call me a pandering. I'm just trying to help both sides out. Now, I'm going to say this last point, and then I'm going to go to the overall conclusion. Ladies, I'm not saying by any means that, because remember, I told you, 60-70%. I'm talking about as far as looks. All right? And another thing is, and this is for my ladies who are below 30. I'm going to touch bases on both points. I'm going to do my ladies before 31st. If you're below 30, I need you not to be out here being on the promiscuous side. Fellas, you too. You thought you were safe? Oh, no. But I'm going to address my ladies first. Yeah. Fellas, you ain't safe. I'm going to come back around to you. I'm going to need you not to be out here just giving your body away. Okay? Yes, I'm being very blunt right now. Because what that does is that messes up your future. You might be wondering, well, Marcus, how does that mess up my future? Well, for a couple reasons. Number one, on the spiritual side, you know, and I'm a Christian. If you're not a Christian, and cool beans, but you know that premarital physical activity is prohibited. There's a lot of reasons why. Number one reason for both sides, for both men and women, is soul ties, right? But as far as my ladies, you bond through physical activity. I ain't gonna say it's the only way that you bond, but that's one of the biggest ways that you bond. You don't want to be out here bonding with a whole bunch of people. Again, I've said this numerous times on the channel. Your body is special. It is a portal that welcomes things to help create and releases things that your body has created. You don't want to be opening up your portal to everyone. It's not a thing you should be doing. Right? You want to be very careful about that. Now, fellas, like I said, you thought you were safe. No, you ain't. You shouldn't be out here swanging on everything that you see, on every woman that you see. When I say swanging, I ain't talking about physically harming. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, ask your parents or grandparents or big brother or big sister. You have a responsibility. The Bible says, be fruitful and multiply. From a man's perspective, that means what? Your seed is used to help multiply the earth. Why in God's green earth are you just wasting your seed? Yes, I'm being blunt with you too, fellas. Because I know some of y'all looking at this probably thought that I was just going to have a big old session about the ladies. No, I told you, both sides seem cooked. So we got to figure out how to fix this. And this is one of the reasons. Cats out here giving their bodies away, both men and women. Your seed is precious, gentlemen. Don't be out here just giving it out to anybody. Responsibility, fam. Alright? Like, overall, a lot of reason why it seems like dating is cooked, this is my overall point before I end this video, is we got our priorities in the wrong place. If we really want dating to be fixed, we gotta get back to how it should be. Well, Marcus, how should it be? Well, I'm glad you asked. Number one, let's stop playing games. I know it's going to be very hard to do. I know it's going to take some time to fix this because, unfortunately, this is just the way society is now. But how about we stop playing games with each other? How about we be straightforward? No games. If we like somebody, like somebody. If we don't like somebody, then don't give them the time of day. Another thing that I think we should consider is this. I think that we should go ahead and look at it from a standpoint of, hey, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I don't know. I don't know too much. I'm just Marcus. Who am I? Ask myself, am I ready to date? Dating comes with a lot of responsibilities. And a lot of times people get the game messed up when they're not ready to date. And yes, before you ask, I've been there. Before you ask, I've been guilty of that. You know what I mean? I've been very guilty of that. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm innocent. No, for sure. Then I want you to look at it from a standpoint of this, right? What are my intentions? I think it's another way that people get the game messed up when it comes to dating. They don't put their intentions out there. Are you seriously trying to date for a relationship? Are you dating to be casual? I'm not going to say what's good and what's not good. I do have my personal opinions on that, but this is not the video for it. But I bring that up because I think that would possibly solve a lot of issues in dating. If people are just very much straightforward, let people know what's up. Hey, I'm not really looking for a relationship right now. Okay, cool. Now, at that point, if you're on the other side of that end and somebody's told you that, that falls on you. Or, hey, I am looking for a relationship. I'm looking for something serious. Hey, I do want a long-term relationship, but I don't want to get married. Hey, I want kids. Hey, I don't want kids. These are all conversations that need to be established early. I know I said early, don't let off loose too much too early. But I don't think these are questions that should be strayed away from. These are questions that you typically would ask on the first date. And I think they're very important to ask. Shoot, some of them might need to be asked before you go on the first date. Don't even waste your time. I might be texting a woman and, well, I take that back. I guess it depends on the situation. But some of those you could ask before you go on the first date. Maybe, if you're bold enough. Just use discretion. But overall, it's a generation. To go back to the first, not just a generation, but society. I keep saying generation. Are we cooked when it comes to dating? No, I wouldn't say we're cooked. I wouldn't say we're cooked. But we got a lot of work to do. And when I say a lot of work, ladies and gentlemen, I mean a lot of work to do. A lot of ground to cover. A lot of things that we have to make up for. I'm not saying that everything is our fault. Everything ain't on the men. Everything ain't on the ladies. But if we want to stop this gender war and have a more prosperous dating scene, relationship scene, marriage scene, these are things that have to be fixed at the foundation. In regards to what you believe in, the foundation is God. That's where I'm going to wrap up my video. I'll just let you ponder on that. It's Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining in. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.